Unless you've been living under a rock, you probably heard about Russia invading Ukraine. Russia and Ukraine have this ongoing beef. They've had this beef for a long time, and honestly, people don't really know how to handle this escalation. Some people are calling it World War III. Some people are calling it the next Cold War. So many things are happening that it can be really scary, and it can be difficult to understand how to respond to this. All I can say is don't be Applebees. The air sirens are going off. How scary must this be for them? And then all of a sudden, we're better than this. As a country, we're better than this. Unbelievable. Yeah, I'm speechless. I don't know. Just don't be Applebee's. I understand it's difficult to register everything that's happening, but you can't just dance your worries away. But honestly, I mean, everyone is commenting about what's going on with Ukraine and Russia. George Bush released a statement, and I quote, "I join in the international community in condemning Vladimir Putin's unprovoked and unjustified invasion of Ukraine." End quote. My guy, you do not get to talk about unprovoked attacks or invasions into anywhere. If anyone needs to sit down and shut the hell up, it's George Bush. I just don't feel like he gets the right to talk about any unprovoked invasions anywhere. He's lost that privilege. And with everyone so quick to share their opinions or their thoughts on the Russian invasion into Ukraine, I think it's important to review the facts. Let's start with the history. Back in the early 1990s, Ukraine declared its independence from Russia. It was part of Russia, and they're like, no, we're out. We're doing our own thing, and Russia was cool with it. And one of the main reasons Russia was cool with it is at that time was the collapse of the Soviet Union. That's kind of where all this began, because Ukraine is a really big country, and it has a ton of people there. So naturally, there are people there that sympathize with Russians or even want to be a part of Russia again. But it's such a small minority of people. And yet those small minority of people have caused problems time and time again. Russia's really trying to cut itself off. It has been for a long time. It's been utilizing these crazy stories of terrible acts done by Ukrainian nationalists, and in reality, those stories are, from my research at least, unfounded. But it's been years that Russia's tried to raise animosity towards Ukraine. On one side, you have the infamous Vladimir Putin. I mean, this guy's been around for how long now? Honestly, I feel like there isn't anyone old. Like, he's so old. He's been here for forever. Can't we get like a more recent model? One that at least uses Wi-Fi? I mean, instead of like missiles, generates electric cars instead of nuclear power plants. Like, can I just get a more hipster version of Vladimir Putin? That would be nice. Nonetheless, I'm stuck with Vladimir. I mean, his mind is absolutely set on one thing. He wants Ukraine to be a part of Russia. He's not listening to anyone. He's not listening to reason. Just watch as his own spy chief just the spy chief just says, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this. Maybe we should take another look at negotiations. Maybe we should give peace one more try. And this is how he reacted.
Нет, или признавать суверенитет. Говорите прямо. Я поддержу предложение о признании. Поддержу или поддерживаю? Говорите прямо, Сергей. Поддерживаю предложение. Так и скажите, так, да или нет? Поддерживаю предложение о вхождении Донецкой и Луганской народных республик в состав Российской Федерации. Мы об этом не говорим.
Oh gosh, he's not letting up.
Мы говорим о признании их независимости или нет.
It's like a bad Zoom meeting where everyone's talking on top of each other. And that's how he treats his own spy chief. I mean, like, you're supposed to go to this guy for some sort of advice, and you're like, what's your opinion? That's your opinion? No, say it louder. Are you sure that's your opinion? Yo, I wouldn't be surprised if we hear about this guy getting assassinated. That's how crazy Putin has been. Putin has literally passed a law in Russia that essentially criminalizes any public opposition to the war in Ukraine. He's blocked Twitter. He's blocked Facebook. On the other side, we have the beloved President Zelensky. I mean, this guy's literally loved by everyone, and that's not an exaggeration. Even the bipartisan Congress he talked to on 3/16/2022 gave him a standing ovation, not just once, but twice. All right, so Nancy Pelosi's going on stage. She thinks, oh, everyone's clapping for Nancy. Psych! They don't care about Nancy at all. Look at him, bro. He literally looks like a Halo character came to real life. He looks like he is on the front lines of this war. It's not just one standing ovation. Because after this, look at this. The ambassador of Ukraine is getting a get on up. Get on up, all of you. Show the love. Show the love. He asks the U.S. government for a humanitarian no-fly zone over Ukraine. And I mean, that's a big deal. He needs people. And you can kind of tell he needs people. I mean, he says even if you can send volunteers who have experience with natural disasters, any bit helps. All in all, the Ukrainian president Zelensky, he's been doing his job. Like, he has earned his paycheck. There are other people on the front lines, civilians. And the civilians have just been, for lack of a better word, badass as fuck. This is a video of a woman going up to the frontline soldiers, the Russian soldiers. She's Ukrainian. The Ukrainian national flower is the sunflower. And basically, she's telling them the truth. Bro, she's like, yo, here, take these sunflower seeds. They're like, yo, we will escalate this situation. You will lie down here with the seeds. Tell him. She showed up to a gunfight, to a war with seeds, and somehow won. More power to her. I really don't know how I would react, and my heart goes out to them. My heart goes out to Russian soldiers who are forced into this. My heart goes out to everyone involved in this war. We saw how Ukrainian citizens are reacting. Let's take a look at how Russian citizens are reacting.
Быстренько я это сделаю.
So let's do this quickly.
Сергею, который пил 12 лет назад, 13, за смерть фондового рынка. Сегодня я пью газировку. Дорогой фондовый рынок, ты был нам близок, был интересен. Покойся с миром, дорогой товарищ.
That was so dramatic. He's literally like, all right, stock market's dead. I toast to your death. Drink up. And in all reality, I don't blame him. The stock market has disintegrated over at Russia. I mean, if you just look at the sanctions that were placed on Russia, they came after everything. Started with the banking institutions. I mean, all Russian assets are basically frozen right now. So the United States has hit Russia really hard with sanctions, but even like companies are hitting Russia with sanctions. Or should I say like sanctions? Like, for example, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Starbucks, they've all suspended trading in Russia. So like literally you want a McDouble, you can't get it in Russia. You know where you can get it? Ukraine. So stop invading Ukraine so we can have some damn McNuggets. All in all, this war has been an absolute atrocity. But at the end of the day, neither of those things justify the stress that the whole world is currently feeling. Now, how we handle that stress is up to y'all. I don't really know the best way to handle all this stress. The world really is going into World War III. But I guess I can just take a note from one of my favorite food chains. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and yeah, let's be friends. Bye. This is how CNN wins commercials.
and a little bit of chicken fried. Cold beer on a Friday night.
Who is this guy?
We love capitalism.
Unbelievable.
Gotta love capitalism.
Unbelievable.